Caitlin Clark continues to be the center of attention in the WNBA, but this time, not for her incredible skills on the court. WNBA Commissioner Cathy Engelbert recently made a controversial statement that's leaving everyone outraged. Is what Clark is going through really normal? But before we dive into all the details, it's important to note that 98.7% of you watching right now aren't subscribed to the channel. Subscribe and help us bring more videos to you. Now, let's get into it. During an interview, Cathy Engelbert said, "I think everybody's watching Caitlin, so they're focused only on Caitlin. But when you look across other games with players, it's a physical game. There's no doubt about it, it's a pure shooter's game. It's a physical game, it's a lot of pick and rolls, a lot of seeing the floor. Again, everybody." This statement implied that the hard fouls and physical treatment Clark is facing are normal in the league, which sparked a wave of outrage among fans and players. Engelbert's comment came at a critical time when the discussion about player protection in the WNBA is more intense than ever. The response was immediate and strong. Many fans and basketball analysts pointed out that while basketball is known for its physical intensity, there is a fine line between aggressive defense and unsportsmanlike conduct. The perception that the WNBA commissioner is normalizing behaviors that endanger players' physical integrity is alarming. Engelbert's statement caused an uproar on social media. WNBA fans, especially those closely following Caitlin Clark's career, expressed their outrage vehemently. Comments like, "It's unacceptable that the commissioner considers what's happening to Caitlin Clark normal. She's being targeted with aggression, and it needs to stop." In addition to the fans, some of the biggest stars in the WNBA also spoke out. Tamika Catchings, a living legend of the league, was one of the first to comment. In a recent interview, Catchings said, "What Caitlin is facing goes beyond the normal physicality of the game. The league needs to protect its stars." Support like this from such a respected player amplifies the need for change. Other players have also spoken out, many of them agreeing with Catchings. They emphasize that while physical play is part of basketball, the aggression Caitlin Clark has been facing is excessive and harmful. The outrage isn't limited to just fans and players. Even some coaches and sports commentators have questioned the league's response and called for stricter measures to protect the athletes. Engelbert's comments not only raised concerns about player safety, but also put the WNBA under a negative spotlight. When the leadership of a league makes remarks that can be seen as disregarding the safety of the athletes, it affects the league's overall image. This statement doesn't just affect Caitlin Clark. It impacts the entire perception of the WNBA as a safe and fair environment for its players. The integrity of the WNBA is at stake. If the league doesn't take steps to protect its players, it could seriously damage its credibility. Fans and sponsors might start to question the league's commitment to player safety. The perception that the WNBA isn't doing enough to protect its players could drive away dedicated fans and potential new viewers. If the league is seen as a place where hard fouls and aggression are normal and tolerated, it could discourage participation and support. Companies that sponsor the WNBA might reconsider their support if they feel the league isn't acting responsibly. Another significant consequence is attracting new talent to the league. Talented players might think twice about joining the WNBA if they feel they won't be protected from unnecessary aggression. Emerging athletes, seeing what Caitlin Clark is going through, might choose to pursue other professional opportunities where they feel safer and more valued. Players already in the league might feel demotivated, affecting their performance and career development. The perception of a hostile work environment can lead to a decline in the level of competitiveness and talent in the WNBA. Beyond affecting future players, the current situation can have a profound impact on athletes already in the league. The feeling of insecurity and lack of support can create a toxic work environment. Players who constantly feel threatened or unprotected can have their morale and performance affected. This doesn't just impact their individual careers, but also the overall performance of their teams. The constant stress of dealing with aggression and the lack of action by the league can affect the mental health of the players. An environment that doesn't promote safety can lead to high levels of anxiety and burnout. To address the current situation and restore confidence in the WNBA, it's essential for the league to take concrete and immediate steps. One of the first measures the WNBA should consider is revising foul rules, with an emphasis on stricter penalties for flagrant and repetitive fouls. Implementing suspensions and significant fines for players who commit flagrant fouls will not only deter aggressive behavior, but also send a clear message that the league does not tolerate violence. Introducing more frequent video reviews during games to assess the severity of fouls will ensure that all plays are evaluated fairly and accurately, protecting players from aggression that referees might miss. Referees play a crucial role in maintaining fairness and safety during games. It's fundamental that they are well prepared to identify and appropriately penalize aggressive plays. The league should conduct regular and intensive training for referees, focusing on identifying aggressive fouls and properly using video reviews. Ensuring consistency in referee decisions across the league is crucial. Players and coaches need to feel that the rules are applied fairly and uniformly. Beyond disciplinary measures, it's vital for the WNBA to provide support to the players, helping them cope with the physical intensity of the game and promoting a healthy work environment. Providing psychological support services can help players deal with the stress and anxiety resulting from on-court aggression. Implementing training programs that help players develop techniques to protect themselves during games without compromising their performance is also essential. Developing wellness policies that address the physical and mental health of players will ensure they feel safe and supported by the league. Implementing these changes will not only improve player safety, but also reinforce the league's integrity and boost confidence among fans and sponsors. A safe and fair environment will attract more talent and create a culture of respect and professionalism. Another important point to consider is a shocking piece of news we recently came across. Despite a massive increase in popularity and interest, the WNBA is expected to continue its streak of financial losses. The league has operated at a loss every year since its inception and survives thanks to subsidies from the NBA. This year, the league is expected to lose around $50 million. But now that the WNBA is gaining popularity, it's looking to break away from the NBA and sell its own TV rights. It's uncertain how this might pan out, but it seems unfair not to include the NBA in this deal, considering the NBA is really the only reason the WNBA exists, and certainly the only reason it still exists, despite massive losses over more than 25 years. Caitlin Clark has helped draw a lot of new interest to the WNBA, but this won't translate financially as quickly as many might assume. Additionally, they've added charter flights for players, which cost around $25 million per season, according to the commissioner. Viewership is up, and that helps, but everything hinges on securing a much more lucrative TV deal. Another thing to keep in mind is that WNBA players can opt out of their collective bargaining agreement next season, and they almost certainly will. With all the public pressure on the league to pay players more, this also needs to be considered. All this to say that it's a complicated situation. Will the WNBA eventually turn a profit? Most likely. But can they create a thriving business that generates millions of dollars in revenue? That depends on whether this newfound popularity can be sustained or if it's just a blip on the radar. And what do you think about this situation? Leave your opinion in the comments. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, now's the time. Click the subscribe button and turn on notifications so you don't miss any videos about the WNBA and Caitlin Clark's impact on the league. See you in the next video.